I'm finally back, everybody, and I'm going to be doing the fourth segment in chapter 3 of Stephen King's It. Now, before I begin, I know a lot of you have been saying, Uzumaki, where the hell have you been with the It chapter reviews? And I know you guys have been wondering that for the last, 3 months now. Um, as you might have expected, there has been a handful of things that have been on my mind as of lately, especially things that are concerning me when it comes to my personal life. So I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not done doing any of the It videos. I'm doing one right now to kind of show you that this series is still going to continue on. And I know that the latest film is going to be coming out next month. That's why I want to do these reviews as fast as possible so that I can kind of give the movie onlys information that they may want to know before the film comes out. So without further ado, I will be discussing the fourth segment, which is the segment that focuses on Eddie Kaspbrak, one of the Loser Club members and one of my favorite characters, and not also all of Stephen King, but in literature in general. The story that centers around Eddie Kaspbrak is one that is more so relatable and kind of a reflection for those kids who have had parents who were either overprotective or crazy at the same time. This chapter focuses on the adult life of Eddie Kaspbrak as a very successful businessman. He owns his own limousine company. He has a lovely wife who, at the same time, represents his mother. But even though the similarities of both him and his mother are very are pretty much homogeneous. At the same time, they're both signs of happiness for Eddie as well as we go forth in this chapter. So pretty much what I'm trying to identify is that Eddie received a phone call from Mike as well as the other kids of the Losers Club and to tell him that it has returned. And in this chapter we get to know about Eddie's life and how it has affected him when going into detail of his mother. His mother was a extremely obese woman who clearly was sensitive towards Eddie's health, as well as his wife in his adulthood. Both characters, Myra and Eddie's mom, are very similar in ways that they are very possessive, very controlling, very demanding, not really his wife, but his mother can be very distrustful as well, because we find out in his past life, his mom pretty much did not want him to be in physical education. She demanded that he would not participate in running or any school activities, because that was the sort of woman his mother was. And to Eddie, he sees that a lot in Myra, his wife. And this chapter basically focuses on his relationship between both his mother and his wife as well. And I'm going to be completely honest. When I read this chapter, I felt really emotional because if you have read the book or have watched the original film, you know what Eddie's fate is. What is going to happen to him at the end of this chapter. Spoiler alert, in the end of the story, we find out that Eddie fucking dies. And this, after looking back at this chapter, it really makes me feel bad for his wife Myra, who, as we know in this chapter, extremely loves Eddie. She would do anything to protect him. And this chapter is, well, this segment of the chapter is very heartbreaking when looking back to it and understanding Myra's feelings as well. Because Eddie, as a character, really is someone that I could connect with, and someone who I believe to be probably, along with Beverly, as the strongest member in the Losers Club because of his backstory and what he has gone through. In this chapter, we get to find out about more about Henry Bowers and Patrick, another antagonist who is very important to the story and was not treated respectfully from the two films, which I might make a video on discussing why I think they really missed a strong element between the story of it and the character of Patrick. So that's pretty much it for my review on this. My review on the segment of the third chapter. I felt like this was a real touching part of the story, and it really gets into detail of what kind of man Eddie was. So that's going to do it for now. Next time is going to be Bev's story. I'll get into more detail on that. This chapter didn't have a lot to go into when going in depth with Eddie's story. His story is pretty much fast-paced and gets to the point. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a glorious day. And thank you for watching, for keeping up to date with the channel, guys. And if you're new to the channel and you would like to continue on with my It series, I would really appreciate it if you hit that notification bell. And it really helps me in the channel as well. Thank you, and have a very nice